Namaste and hello, this is your Sanskrit instructor welcoming you back into lesson number 66. In the previous video, we were introduced to the masculine nouns that end with I and U, and you got a new declension table. Now we're going to learn about how to use the ablative case. There are 4 ways the ablative case is used, and they are as follows. Number 1, to indicate the place from which an action begins or originates. Number 2, with verbs meaning to desist from, to protect, or to fear. Number 3, to express the cause or the motive of something. Very similar to the instrumental case. We learned about that in lesson number 55. And number 4, with the following prepositions that we will be learning about. So for number 1, let's go into details. So the ablative case is used to indicate the place from which the action begins or originates. So we have the sage goes from the forest, that is from which the action begins. So the going is happening from the forest. So from the forest should be used in the ablative case, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Our sentence here, the translation goes as Munir Vanat Gachati. Originally, this was Monehe Vanat Gachati. But then when a visarg is preceded by any vowel except a or a, and then followed by a soft consonant, that visarg turns into a half ra, into a ra. So that half ra is represented by this hook on the top. So it becomes Munir Vanat Gachati. So the sage goes from the forest. Forest is vana, it's neuter. And this is declined to neuter, ablative, singular. Vanat means from the forest. Munihi is the sage. This is nominative, singular, masculine noun that ends in I. And to go, since the sage is the one that's doing the going, this is one sage, so that's why this is third person singular, first conjugation, gachati. So the sage goes from the forest, Munir Vanat Gachati. Now going on to the second reason why we use the ablative case. So the ablative case is used with verbs meaning to desist from, or to protect, or to fear. So for example, God protects men from misery. This is to desist from. Keyword here is from misery. So God protects men from misery. God is the subject here. The subject is usually represented by the nominative case. So this was originally God means Ishwar, Ishwar. And this was originally Ishwaraha in the nominative singular case. Ishwara became Ishwaraha. This is a masculine noun that ends with a. Masculine. And this was originally Ishwaraha. The reason why it turned into Ishwaro is because when a visarg is preceded by an a and followed by a soft consonant, in this case it is na in naran, that visarg turns into an o. So God protects, the word for protects here is rakshati. Since God is singular, this should be singular third person, rakshati. This is first conjugation. God protects men. Men is plural. And it is the object of the sentence. God protects men. And this is what we're seeing here. This is the accusative plural case. masculine noun that ends with a, ending with a. So nara to naran, accusative plural. God protects men from misery. So from misery, we have the hukat, and this is the star of today's lesson because we're learning about the ablative case. So the hukat, the hukam means misery, and then from the hukah to the hukat, this is neuter, singular in the ablative case. Okay, the hukat, from misery. Going on to the third reason, so the ablative case is used to express the cause or the motive, very similar to the instrumental case again. So this was also an example for the instrumental case, if I can recall. So it was actually out of misery, I think. In this case, is out of anger, but when it's out of something, the cause or the motive, you can use the ablative case, you can use the instrumental case. So in this example, we have out of anger, he strikes the boy. Out of anger, he strikes the boy. So we have krodhat balam tudati. Out of anger is krodhat. That's krodha. It turns to krodhat, the ablative case, masculine noun that ends with a, is declined in the ablative singular case, krodhat. At is the case ending that represents the ablative case. He strikes the boy. So out of anger, he strikes. This is third person. And that's what we're seeing here. Tudati is third person singular. And the boy is the object. The object is usually represented in the accusative case. Balam, singular. Krodhat balam tudati. Out of anger, he strikes the boy. The focus here is krodhat. Out of anger should be used in the ablative case. Anger. And last but not least, we have the ablative case is used with the following prepositions, and these are the prepositions. So, prak means before or to the east of. Purvam means before. Anantaram means after. A means until or since. Prabhriti means since. Bahihi means outside. Rite means except. And vina means without. Vina is also used is also a preposition that can govern the instrumental case as well. So let's use an example. So since we have some space here, let's use anantaram. If we wanted to use after misery, we would say anantaram duhukat. We would use anantaram duhukat because this is a preposition that governs the ablative case. So anantaram duhukat is after misery. So this is an example. In the next video, we're going to go over all of the ablative cases that we have learned about so far. And this is your Sanskrit instructor signing off with a namaste.